Hello there, Max Power here. So, really quickly, just want to do a quick description of what our podcast is. Before I do that, really quickly, I just want to tell you right now. Uh, Podcast is called "Don't Be So Sensitive" with Joey and Max Power. You find it on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's called once again, "Don't Be So Sensitive." There's a picture of Lucky, my cat, on the profile picture. Real quickly, uh, just real quick heads up, real quick breakdown. My name is not really Max Power. It is just an alias that I use. There's a story behind that. I'll get to that in just a second. My name is not Max Power. My Facebook page, I go by the name Tyler Durden. It's actually a fictional character from the book/movie Fight Club. Again, two characters that are basically they're white names. I'm not white. The reason I need to say that is because on my Facebook I have been accused of being racist because people think that I'm white because I don't have my actual face on my profile pictures. So just real quick thing, two things. One, I'm not white, and two, my name is not really Max Power. It's just for the show. Okay. That being said, really quickly, let me just explain what our podcast is. If you're not already familiar with it, what it is basically, it's just two guys, two regular dudes who have discussions about pretty much anything and everything you can think of. I was a bartender for almost 20 years. I recently had to stop because I just tortured my feet to no end and I just needed a break. By the way, if any of y'all out there listening to this and you're bartenders or thinking about getting into bartending, really quick tip: Dr. Scholl's insoles. Pay the extra couple of bucks for the actual Dr. Scholl's. Trust me, it's worth it. You'll save your feet, believe me. Because after a while, let me tell you something, man. I worked several jobs at a time consecutively, months straight without a day off. I mean, they hurt. Just say. Dr. Scholl's, highly recommend them. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Now, back to my point. The podcast, really, what it is, like I said, is as a bartender, I would have discussions with people about all different types of things. The last bartending gig I held was at a hotel, and it was in San Antonio, Texas, and I met people from literally all over the world, and all ages, all walks of life, all different backgrounds, and we would have all different types of discussions, and I would push the envelope to see where I could take the discussion, and I would bring up different subjects, especially religion and politics, because I wanted to see if an argument would break out or a discussion. Every single time, no arguments. So I realized, you know what, people can be civilized and just talk about things. No subject should be taboo. It's just that some people are too immature and they can't be civil. So that's where our podcast comes in. Joey and I basically were just two adults who do not see 100% on everything, but we have really good chemistry. We met at a bar a couple of times, and we would just be drinking. We started bullshitting. We'd have really good discussions. Well, he started coming to see me at my bar when I was working at the hotel, and one day I thought, you know what? You would be a really good candidate for this podcast idea that I came up with years ago. So sure enough, he got on board. We started back in June. Now, bear in mind, this is very important. If you have not checked it out and you decide to listen to it from the beginning, you have to keep in mind it is not low budget, it's no budget. Joe and I are not rich and we're not famous. We're regular guys. We work, we have bills to pay. So, in the beginning, there are audio problems. There's some reverb a little bit. Sometimes you have trouble hearing us. In the overall, you can pretty much hear the discussion, so it should sound more or less okay. So just disclaimer, keep that in mind when you listen to it. This is not being corporately or funded or sponsored by anybody. It's just us. So anyway, now really quickly, just another quick backstory as far as why Max Power. Um, if y'all are familiar, some of you are old enough. If you're watching this, if you're my friends anyway. There's an old Simpsons episode where Homer Simpson gets into some trouble because of his name. There's like a misunderstanding. So he has his name legally changed to Max Power. My middle name happens to be Homer. And I've never liked that name. And when that episode came out, I thought to myself, I would totally change my name to Max Power if I could. Well, a good friend of mine also loved the episode and said the same thing. Well, he found this T-shirt at a mall one evening with his wife, and he picked me up one as well. So that's why I have the shirt. Now, that's not enough reason to call myself Max Power. Here's what happened. There was this girl that I was talking to that I had a bit of a crush on, and it was more than a crush. I mean, we hooked up a few times, and I'm not gonna say her name because she's an actual person, so let's just call her I don't know, some dumb skank. Well, uh, at one point, like I said, I liked her, and the one issue that she had was that her ex-boyfriend and I shared the same first name. So I said, well, how can we change that? What can we do to fix that? So she says, if you could pick your name, what would it be? Like anything. And my face lit up, and I said, holy shit, Max Power. I explained to her the Simpsons episode. I showed her the shirt, and she started laughing. She's like, okay, Max Power it is. So from then on, she started calling me Max. And I liked it so much, it kind of stuck. So Max Power. So there you go. Now, as far as these videos goes, the YouTube channel is mostly going to be that, promoting the podcast. I will give little teasers and little like hints of things that we might discuss. At the same time, you can leave comments on this as well if you want us to discuss anything in particular, or if you want to give us some feedback. Also, the reason I'm starting this channel is later on, Joey and I plan to do some video podcasts as well to help to kind of help our podcast evolve a little bit. So if you haven't checked that out already, please check it out. Don't be so sensitive. You can find us on Spotify. If you've already checked it out, great. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button. Like I said, unfortunately, Joe and I, we have regular jobs and we have conflicting schedules. Sometimes we can't always, do a recording when we want to. So if you hit the subscribe button, you'll always know when we put out a new episode. Really quickly, I just want to give a couple of shout outs / credit, really, because I don't know them personally. Chad Daniels and Cy Amundsen, they have a podcast called Middle of Somewhere. I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. They're two very, very talented, very funny comedians that I've followed for a few years now, and recently discovered their podcast, and it's hilarious. Still very new, but it's very funny. The other one is Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. They have a podcast called Two Bears, One Cave. Also highly recommended. Two comedians also I have followed for a few years now, before I knew they had a podcast. Theirs is also still going. I haven't listened to all the episodes yet, but it's really, really funny. That one, you kind of have to watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it, but it's better to watch it, in my opinion. Just saying. Gentlemen, if you are watching this video and or you've heard our podcast, thank you so much for all the laughs. I love y'all's comedy. All of y'all. I mean, seriously, all of y'all. I would love to see y'all live one day. If one day it's in the cards, you never know. But anyways, I have to bring up those podcasts and give them credit, because Joey and I do get a lot of our ideas from that podcast. Hence, for example, like the challenge I'm doing right now, maximum effort for 30 days. On the Two Bears, One Cave, they did what was called Sober October, and they basically went clean for 30 days, and they were doing all different types of like classes and lessons, to keep themselves, occupied. Well, I'm doing 30 days without drinking because I drink a lot and I really want to take a break and show that I can take a break, just sheer willpower, no AA, no support groups, nothing. But anyway, we'll talk about that in the next podcast. I don't know. If you want to follow my progress on that, though, check out my Instagram. I'm doing daily videos on things that I'm doing to keep myself from drinking. Unfortunately, today my gym closed, at least for the next couple of weeks, because of the coronavirus, so that put a little damper in my plans, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, like I said, Middle of Somewhere, Chad Daniels, Amundsen, check it out. Two Bears, One Cave, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, also check it out. But most importantly, check out Don't Be So Sensitive with Joey and Max Power. We hope you like it. Like I said, it gets a little edgy. So come with an open mind. We talk about a lot of different things: religion, politics, sports, movies. Nothing's off the table. We talk about everything, because like I said, we are civilized adults. There's no reason we can't just sit and have a discussion. It's that simple. But I guess that is all for right now. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. But real quickly, if you like this video, or if you have anything to say or have any questions to ask, feel free to leave a comment as well. You can find me on Instagram at max_power2024. My Twitter is maxpower at oldmanmaxpower. And our Facebook page is called Don't Be So Sensitive. Our Facebook page is mainly a bunch of like dark humored memes, so keep that in mind. That's basically what it's for. It's for people that have Facebook pages and they see things that they think are really funny and they want to share it, but they can't because like a friend or a loved one might see it and they might get upset. You can post it on our page and they won't see it. It's 100% private. But disclaimer, not 100% safe. You can still get put in Facebook jail if you put something really offensive. I know this because I'm one of the admins for the page and I've been put in Facebook jail twice. So yeah. Also, one last disclaimer. I'm not racist. We do say a lot of racist jokes on the show. The reason I have to bring that up because, like I said, since it's audio, A lot of people assume that I'm white, and on my Facebook page, at one point I said that Asians are better at everything, and that actually got me blocked. Actually, no, correct myself. I said fucking Asians are better at everything. I think that's actually what got me blocked. So again, disclaimer: we are not racist, but we do like to laugh, and hope you do too. Check out the podcast. Hope you like it. But I guess that's all for now. Like I said, I'm gonna post these videos more or less consistently, but gonna try not to overdo it. I really, like I said, want to keep it simple to mostly promote the podcast. Every once in a while, you might get a little bit of venting frustrations from me, but that'll probably come after the 30 days is over. But till next time, like I said, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook page, or feel free to leave a comment. Chad Daniel Salmonson, Middle Somewhere Podcast, check it out. Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Two Bears One Cave, awesome podcast, check it out. Check out Don't Be So Sensitive with Joey and Max Power. But anyway, till next time, y'all be safe out there. More importantly, be grateful.